So today I'm at New Scientist Live. I'm here to discover all the latest about science and technology, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Come and join me.
And then after a week you start walking normally, and then I could stand on one leg, which I couldn't do for the first 3 days just because you would fall over. So now I'm feeling absolutely fine.
Good, excellent. Now you're going to take us through your mission. Here is this is called technology, you won't know anything about this. Press that button there to start your video.
Okay, well firstly I'd just like to say thank you so much everybody for coming here to the New Scientist Live for 2016. It's really a pleasure to be here to talk to you this morning, and I'm just delighted to see so many of you in the audience. So I thought I would start off by just showing you a quick video of some highlights of Mission Prinkett. Here's that pre-launch checklist, just in case something goes wrong. For example, we're all wearing our spacesuits, and we have to do leak checks to make sure that their spacesuit is not going to leak at all. So if that needed to be repeated, that will be an extra 10 minutes. So these kind of additional buffers are built into the checklist, which means we all get some songs to choose before we launch to space. So it was a very surreal and bizarre moment to be sitting on top of 300 tons of rocket fuel, listening to Queen and U2 and Coldplay. Tim and I are not sure how so much Lady Gaga got onto the playlist either. We suspect that was a little joke by our Russian instructor. But before we knew it, the final countdown by Europe was playing, which is the traditional Russian song. And I was surprised, actually, at just how quickly, after that song stopped, we were literally 1 minute from launch, and it was a case of, okay, stop, refocus, we're about to go into space. And so the launch sequence started. Now, going into space on a rocket, I can only describe it as that very overused adjective, awesome. The first stage that I spoke about is just 300 tons of rocket fuel, delivering 3 million horsepower, and that is all about getting all of that mass outside of Earth's atmosphere. You don't need that nose fairing anymore. You're not experiencing any drag, and so get rid of it, jettison it. And that's the first time that I was able to look to the right outside of my Soyuz window, and you actually see the sky's not blue anymore, but the sky is black. And you're starting to approach that blackness of space. The third stage is all about raw power, foot to the floor acceleration, probably from about 4 times the speed of sound up to a crazy 25 times the speed of sound. And to put that into perspective, that's 10 times the speed of a bullet. And it's just the most amazing feeling. You're thinking to yourself, when's it going to stop? When's it going to stop? It can't go on for this long. 4Gs pinned into your seat. It's getting faster and faster. To do something like a reboost, to boost the station to a higher altitude, then you need to know that everything is secure. So it was quite important that the MT needed securing as soon as possible. We got the word that we needed a spacewalk urgently to get outside and do that. So with just 6 days of arriving on the space station, Tim Coper and Scott Kelly had to go outside and do a spacewalk to release the brake on the MT, which was suspected of causing the problem, along with a number of different other tasks. Now, my job as a rookie astronaut is to get these 2 guys outside and back in safely, get them suited up, get them depressurized, get them into the airlock, monitor the whole spacewalk from the inside, being the guy on the IV talking to them, and then get them back in, repressurize, get them out of the spacesuit, and take care of them if anything goes wrong. It's a hugely demanding task, and most astronauts consider it the most demanding, with the exception of the spacewalk itself. So a real baptism of fire, but something that I thoroughly enjoyed. And of course, Tim and Scott went outside and were able to successfully release the brake. And we were trying to describe it as an order of magnitude above even going into space. Because you do, inside the Soyuz capsule, inside the International Space Station, you feel almost protected. You can almost lure yourself into a false sense of security that, hey, this is normal. I wake up in the morning, I have a cup of tea, a bacon sandwich, and go to work. But there's nothing normal about being outside of a space station in a spacesuit. It's completely surreal. So unfortunately, like I say, we're not there to do spacewalks up in space, more as a pity. We're here to do science. And so we were cracking on then with a very busy, very ambitious science program. And we had about over 250 experiments to do during the 6 months on board. I'm pleased to say that we got through all of that and more, in fact. Some of the sciences range from things like fluid physics, advanced material science, really interesting metal alloys that we're manufacturing on the space station using the electromagnetic levitator. I installed an electrostatic furnace on the Japanese module, which is looking at new novel composite materials we're building. Lots of research into things like flame combustion techniques and how we can improve our engines back here on Earth and in for space propulsion as well. We can learn more about things like growing protein crystals, which are hugely important to the pharmaceutical and drug industry. Protein crystals are absolutely amazing. On Earth, you can't grow very good protein crystals because of convection and sedimentation. They crack and they're small. In space, you can grow beautifully large protein crystals. And of course, we've got over 100,000 proteins in our body, and many of them are disease-causing. And the more you know about a protein that causes a disease, then the more you can build the drug that can...
Hey guys, I've just come out of the Team Peake presentation. I got to see Major Team Peake actually present to the audience and talk about his experiences in space. I really, really enjoyed it. He's probably been one of the most inspirational speakers I have ever seen actually present on stage. It's absolutely amazing. I've never actually wanted to go to space before, but now I'm convinced that I do want to go to space. The chances of that happening is probably zilch, but I really, really enjoyed it. And now, next up, I'm going to Project Doomsday, which is a whole interactive presentation all about what would happen if the world was ending.
Good afternoon, willkommen, how are we doing? Good, glad to see you so chatty today.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. Unfortunate that we had to meet in such distressing circumstances. Thank you for the laughter at the apocalypse there, sir. I appreciate it. This is Project Doomsday. As you all know, of course, the Doomsday clock is a symbolic representation of our proximity to Armageddon.
Yes.
When the clock strikes midnight,
Kaboom! Kabushi! Kawamo!
the world ends.
Yes, it's decided by the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. Now, in January 2016, the clock was at 3 minutes to midnight, okay, because of various threats from climate change or possible nuclear attacks. However, today, the minute hand has been brought forward until the two hands are almost touching.
Almost touching.
Almost, not quite.
And not quite, not quite. Almost.
Almost, that's right.
So close, so close. So far, so close.
Hey guys, so I've just come out of the Project Doomsday presentation. It was absolutely amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. It was all about what you would do if all these volcanoes erupted in Yellowstone National Park, and the consequences, what the consequences would be on humankind and on, well, internationally, I guess, worldwide. It was really, really cool. We all had to interact with the presentation and actually vote for whether we thought who we would actually save. Hilariously, majority of us decided we weren't going to save America. We were just going to help focus on saving everyone else in the world. So that was quite funny. But we really enjoyed it, and now I'm off to the exhibition. Look at all these telescopes. Huge, literally, absolutely massive. I can't even imagine where I would put that if I actually had that in my home. Look at this one. It's absolutely ginormous. Amazing. So cool. Sorry about
So on this unit you'll get 10 to 12 hours of running time. These units with legs, because they draw so much power.
It's a mini one.
And it can be connected to their database.
This is the Bloodhound SCC, and it is absolutely massive. But it does go 1,000 miles an hour, but it's really, really long. I mean, I'm walking along it, and I'm still not quite at the end of it. I'm still going. I'm still going. It's incredibly long. It's beautiful. I mean, look at this. And then up there, it's our flag. Always quite proud to see innovation by Britain. Okay, so look at the size of that wheel. It's absolutely huge, and then that's the whole length of it going all the way down to